That's a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here is the lateral ventricle right here.
Mm-hmm.
And the region, this region surrounding this circular structure here is the third ventricle. This groove that you can see kind of coming along here, that's the aqueduct.
This one here? This?
Yes, exactly, this deep groove.
Oh,
right
here, the groove.
Yeah, the groove. And the groove leads all the way back to where the fourth ventricle is, which is here. And remember, we looked at it the first time back here. It's basically where this little fissure in the cerebellum is. So the fourth ventricle.
Right here.
So fourth ventricle, aqueduct, third ventricle, and then lateral ventricle.
So, and that's what we need to know for the test, right? The ventricles.
Yeah, you're going to need to know the ventricles. Here is the cingulate gyrus. See this bulge that's on top of the corpus callosum? Okay.
This one here? Oh, that's not very...
It's not so bad. It's basically below this little thing, so between here and here.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, yeah, and it would be here on yours. It's mine. You can get the gyri feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
And this is when we were talking about. Remember, we were talking about the table and the forebrain, right? So the forebrain includes the cerebral hemispheres and the cerebral cortex. That's the thin layer of cells. But we also talked about it having the limbic system and limbic cortex being located kind of more deeper, subcortical, and more in the central. Sorry. And so this is the cingulate gyrus. It's an example of limbic cortex.
Mm-hmm. Can you toss me this picture, please?
And
I forgot my book today. I don't know why.
Okay, we did corpus callosum, right? That's obvious. That's the white band.
So this is the...
Yeah, the cingulate gyrus.
What number does it has? It has no number on there.
Yeah, it doesn't have a number on there. It's pointing out instead the different portions of the corpus callosum. It has different
See, I
names
still
to
got
it.
the skin
And so that's
in
the
mine,
septum pellucida.
See that?
Yeah.
There's no hole.
Exactly. So that is a membrane that separates the two ventricles. So that means you cut perfectly right down, almost perfectly right down the middle.
I did.
Yep.
I would be a good surgeon. I can cut pretty good. But
All right. So we got corpus callosum. I have a really nice pineal body right here. That's this. Sometimes they're small and sometimes they kind of fall out. But that's mine. Yeah.
Mine are kind of like cut.
I think yours,
they look cut.
yours is this.
Right there.
Yeah, because it's separate from your superior and inferior colliculi. So this is your pineal body.
Right here.
Yep, and hypothalamus. So this big round structure right here is the thalamus. And then if you turn your brain over, you can see where we used to be looking at the hypothalamus, which is just behind the chiasm. Cerebellum is this whole thing here. And it has a nice example of white versus gray matter. And again, we have another view. So the first time we looked at superior and inferior, we pulled it down this way. But
So if our gray matter reduces, what does it mean?
Cell bodies would be dying.
So we get senile.
Yeah, if you get neural degeneration, in particular in the hippocampus.
No, I was just thinking dementia, Alzheimer's, that kind of
Sure,
stuff.
yeah.
But don't they develop knots in your brain? It's like a knotted brain when you look at it.
You're talking about the tangles in Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
That is definitely a part of the disorder. Yeah.
And what about when the white matter?
The white matter, so demyelinating diseases are things like MS. And so you can imagine, like, if the myelin is supposed to preserve the signals so that it can be sent along the axon, if that starts breaking down, the signals can't be sent. So that's what happens.
So those are all the nervous dysfunction we have.
Yep.
Motor functions or sensory?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
This is both.
Yes.
So Parkinson, MS, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, each of them has a different, main cause, I guess you could say. But, when the white matter is specifically attacked, that's like MS is an example of that. And then, again, just you can imagine now, based on what we've learned, that if the white matter is disappearing, the signals can't get where they need to go. So then you can't have trouble with movement.
So at the end, the heart stops.
And then yes.
Yeah, and that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we've got superior and inferior colliculi from this view, the thalamus, and then, you know, gray matter and white matter. And then you just, from this angle, you also want to be able to identify some of the brainstem structures. So here's the pons. In this
Pons
region
is here? Is it here on my brain?
Yes.
This one here?
Yep, that little bulge
Yeah.
there. And then medulla behind that.
Here? Here.
Yeah, so your pons is right here, and your medulla goes from here to
Right.
here, and then spinal cord.
Yeah, it looks all like one little thing.
It
doesn't
does.
have, yeah.
Yeah, it depends, you know, so different things are but easier to see in certain views, right? So, but that basically covers this list of things here. And the only other thing.
So
I
we're
wanna-
gonna have a cut brain on
Yeah.
the test and a sticking in it.
Yep.
What is it?
Yeah, and
That
normally
sort of
what
thing.
happens is there's like a number on it. So
Number,
I'll say,
yeah.
And last thing I want to point out is the choroid plexus.
Oh, I think I
That's
put that
the
out.
stuff that makes
It's
the
right here.
cerebrospinal fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the ventricles.
I put that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.